Chapter 5. Pop, Era-Based Identity Systems. Pop is the genre most fluent in the idea of the era, a deliberately bounded chapter of meaning with its own wardrobe logic, typography, color temperature, movement style, and public persona. Since 2015, streaming and social media have turned eras from occasional reinventions into a repeatable operating system. The audience doesn't just listen to a new album, they learn a new visual language. In pop, visual identity is rarely one static logo. It's a sequence of cohesive micro-brands that must feel different enough to signal growth, yet consistent enough to remain unmistakably the same artist. The best modern pop acts don't change looks, they deploy era-based identity systems. Why pop needs eras more than other genres? Pop lives at the intersection of mass attention and fast cultural turnover. When the release cycle accelerates, sameness becomes a liability. The audience scrolls past what it can't instantly categorize as new. The era solves that. An era also creates a clean story for platforms with limited context. A thumbnail, a tour poster, a TikTok clip, and a press photo can all point to the same chapter if the system is coherent. One dominant silhouette, one signature palette, one hair makeup grammar, one emotional setting. The era is a contract with the audience. Eras work because they are legible promises. This is what you're getting from me right now. They give fans a way to participate. Outfits, filters, meme formats, concert dress codes, turning visual identity into a shared ritual rather than a top-down campaign. Anatomy of an era-based identity system. A pop era is built from constraints. The artist doesn't wear anything cool. They wear a controlled set of choices that repeats until the public can recognize it at a glance. Silhouette and body strategy. Silhouette is the fastest recognition tool. Modern pop eras often anchor on one of these approaches. Icon silhouette, a repeatable shape that reads instantly on a phone screen. Oversized, ultra-tailored, hyper-feminine corsetry, athletic minimalism. Transformation silhouette, a deliberately surprising body statement. New proportions, exaggerated shoulders, latex second skin, dramatic volume. Uniform silhouette, simplified repetition that turns the artist into a symbol. Consistent suits, consistent dress type, consistent streetwear code. The goal is not variety, it's repeatability with intention. Color and material palette. Pop eras typically run on a tight palette, 2 to 5 primary colors plus one signal accent. Material becomes part of the palette. Chrome, denim, satin, distressed leather, sheer mesh. These materials photograph differently under stage lighting and phone cameras, so they do double duty: aesthetic and performance optimization, persona movement and camera behavior. Pop identity isn't only what you wear, it's how you move through the frame. An era often includes a movement rule set: sharp, geometric choreography versus loose, handheld intimacy, direct eye contact versus avoidance and mystique, comedic self-awareness versus mythic seriousness. The visual system is reinforced every time the artist enters a room, steps on stage, or posts a casual clip. Consistency across high and low moments is what makes an era feel real. Scaling the era across platforms. Since 2015, the pop era must function simultaneously in 3 worlds: streaming surfaces, social feeds, and physical performance. Streaming, the album cover as interface. On streaming platforms, the cover is less a collectible object and more an icon, an app tile competing for attention. Era-based covers tend to be high contrast and minimal in composition, dominated by a single face, pose, or symbol, and aligned with the era's silhouette and palette. The cover becomes the profile picture of the era, echoed by lyric videos, canvas loops, and playlist visuals. Social media, identity compression. Social media punishes complexity. The era must compress into repeatable motifs: a nail style, a lens choice, a caption tone, a recurring prop. The smartest pop teams design micro-assets, small visual signatures that can survive low resolution and fast scrolling. Just as important, the era needs controlled candidness. Fans expect access, but access still has art direction. The era must remain legible, even when the content is casual. Stage, the era as a world you can enter. On stage, the era becomes architecture: lighting, color, screen graphics, dancer styling, set shapes, interlude films. Pop tours now function like traveling museums of an era. The artist is the central exhibit, but the supporting visuals make the identity feel inevitable. The 3 modern pop era models. Across the post-2015 pop landscape, most era systems cluster into 3 models. The chameleon cycle. This model treats reinvention as the brand itself. Each era is a new character with new styling rules, often amplified by editorial fashion and dramatic hair makeup shifts. The risk is fragmentation. The solution is a consistent meta signature, a recognizable face strategy, a consistent level of theatricality, or a repeating emotional theme. The minimal icon progression. Here the artist evolves subtly. Silhouette stays stable, palette shifts slightly, and the persona deepens rather than flips. This model builds trust and timelessness, working especially well when the music leans intimate. The challenge is avoiding visual stagnation. The solution is precision. Small changes executed with obsessive consistency. The Myth Builder arc. In this model, each era expands a fictional universe, symbols, lore, recurring motifs, and cinematic visuals that invite decoding. It's highly scalable across merch, stage design, and social storytelling. The risk is over-design. The solution is clarity, one or two dominant symbols per era, not an entire encyclopedia. Designing your own pop era framework. A practical way to build a pop era system is to define constraints before aesthetics. The era brief in 6 decisions. 1. One sentence of persona. Who are you in this chapter? 2. One primary silhouette. What shape should people remember? 3. One palette plus one accent. What colors own the timeline? 4. One texture family. What materials keep it cohesive? 5. One movement rule. How do you behave on camera and stage? 6. One symbol or motif. What repeats across assets and merch? When these 6 decisions are locked, everything else becomes easier. Photo direction, tour wardrobe, graphic design, and social content templates. Pop's era-based identity systems aren't superficial. They are the mechanism that turns music into a scalable, shareable, unmistakable presence. In the